solutions for AI. For the first part of our program, ESG, before the 13 sharp Moscow time, we will see how ESG is used for applied tasks. I would like to invite Andrey Alekseenko, Vice President for Northern and Eastern Europe from Teradata company. Teradata company is known not only for complex solutions. We help companies to change the way they approach the challenges. They also work with Unilever, Volkswagen, Siemens, and other great companies. Teradata also uses ESG itself. It's in Dow Jones Sustainability top ranks. The company started to think about sustainability before it became mainstream, and Andrey will speak how to become a leader of an ESG transformation. In the 20th century, one of the lead constructors said, "Nature does not know anything about dying. Nature knows only about transformation." And I think we might think, if this statement is still true, maybe we've violated this statement, maybe we've gone beyond the line and we cannot go back anymore. My name is Andrey Alekseenko, and I am head of the Northern and Eastern Europe for Teradata. I would like to speak about how we can make ESG transformation real. Hello. We can see, we can feel the climate change. It happens around us, it happens to us. We can see the depletion of resources for short-term benefits, and I think everybody asks, can we do something? Can I personally change something so that the future will become a little bit brighter? And though the capabilities of a single individual or a company are limited, but big players could use the results of digital transformation and make a change for the better. Let us start with the question why. I think I will not dwindle on it because it has been said before and our host has already mentioned it, but I would like to specify some points which I find very interesting recently. I would like to say that, well, first, it's so evident. Forest fires in different areas of the whole planet, everybody can see it, we can see it. Different climate catastrophes has already become a reality. This is a fact which has become wide known. We are not speaking about 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature increase, which was forecast a while ago. We are not even speaking about plus 4 degrees, which are critical by the end of the century. We're speaking about plus 4 to the 4 we already have now, which makes the situation really serious, and it makes us think. Another point, speaking about why, I would like to say that everything is interconnected. When we have forest fires, biosphere suffers, infrastructure suffers, everybody suffers. But even these simple things, even these simple stories like the enlargement of agricultural areas in order to provide food for the ever-increasing population of our planet, it throws off the balance, the energy balance, the water resource balance, and we are absolutely sure that we humans cannot solve this problem without artificial intelligence. But What can we do? What can you? What can I do? We ask this question. What do we want to do? How do we want to live? We want to make our future better, right? I'm sure we have a lot of data, we have a lot of information so that every single person could understand what they should change, how they should change their behavior, their habits, what they should pay attention to. And I think this kind of ESG demand is increasing more and more. There is a new set of consumers which are not just interested in the quality product. They are not just interested in a product which fulfills the tasks they are assigned to, but they are interested in the way how it is created, how it is designed, how it is performed, or ESG criteria taken into account. Start with simple things like renewable energy usage or recycled materials. Were these approaches used or not? Or even just selection, or even providing different options for carbon footprint. For example, you have different options, different options, and you can choose with a better or worse carbon footprint. I'm an optimist, and I think that this kind of demand for trust, for transparency, for details from the consumer side has appeared, and it will only increase in the future. So we have this kind of demand. Obviously, the vacuum will be filled by somebody. And I propose the big players or the ecosystems to fill the vacuum. So how do we do this? How to lead? How to harness this wave? How to be at the crest of this wave? How to satisfy this demand? Let's take a consumer's perspective. We could have tens, even hundreds of millions of different clients. But what matters is an individual, a single person. I'm sure that this kind of graph you see on the screen, well, obviously you know it very well. It's a Blue Note client track, which is the foundation for digital transformation. Big companies have either already finished this kind of transformation or they are transforming right now. And this kind of client track gives us new opportunities. It makes it possible to embed the opportunities, which I would like to call ESG needs, like the desire to live in the world which will have enough water, enough food, enough energy, which will have the biodiversity and other characteristics. So these kind of needs we can embed into the processes which we already have. We know how they work as the result of digital transformation, and we can launch this kind of mechanism. If we go back to the client side, then these could be some individual services or packages with ESG markings, some kind of symbols that they have this ESG approach, they comply with ESG criteria. If we understand the needs of this kind of client, an organization can provide specific products and services for this kind of client, taking into account their needs. As a result, we have a demand for this kind of products and services, which could be considered ESG products and services, which help sustainable development, which means the companies which produce and provide this kind of products and services provide the necessary transparency for the client, for the ecosystem, for the marketplace, and for their partners. They win. They get more opportunities to stay in the market and to grow even further. So this launches a mechanism. We use these markets to develop these kind of opportunities, to understand them, and in order to implement these kind of needs. And we do this in details for each individual. If we have tens of millions, we do this 10 million times. And this is the essence, this is the very core of the green track of a client. Speaking about marketing activities which could be used for better by big players, well, basically these are the same. These are gamification, personalization, ESG scoring. I'm sure that there is a category of clients who will be very interested in knowing their own ESG score, how well they behave in terms of these ESG criteria, how well they can control their own behavior, if their carbon footprint higher or lower compared to other individuals. As a result, we launch this kind of mechanism, which will basically provide the benefits for itself. If we take a look at the specific steps which could be along this green customer journey, here are some examples. How an individual green customer journey could look like. For example, for an ecosystem with a bank, with a green bank. Basically, each unit is a separate client story. We've discussed this for many years during the digital transformation talks. When a client, in a specific moment, when you provide the specific application, you provide the specific offer which they need right here, right now. But we also use ESG criteria. For example, they have a large sum of money, but we not just provide possibility to make a deposit. We provide an ESG deposit. Maybe they want to plant a tree. We also provide a special loan for EV vehicles, electrical vehicles, or for some other means of transportation which will decrease the carbon footprint, because our clients value it, we value it, and everybody else do so. But the most important point, we take into account the needs, the demand of our client, and we want to satisfy it. The same applies to smart home. We provide additional benefits for mortgages. As a result, we have different products and services, so that our clients could understand, yes, if I work with this kind of organization, I make a contribution to the sustainable development. I really do everything possible so that my life would not provide some negative consequences, because I use this kind of ESG products and services. As a result, society will have better place to live and better future to live into. Green customer journey, or rather customer journey, is an old concept. For now, it has not been wrapped, or rather wrapped into ESG package. I have yet to see any large-scale products where we would have ESG criteria, metrics and markers within this customer journey. Here on this slide, I give a few examples of different products and services from different areas, which could be considered ESG. They exist. Maybe they are not interconnected, and obviously they are not connected in a single customer journey, and that's why we will continue to develop this kind of journey. We will fill this vacuum if we give the opportunity to these clients an opportunity to develop, we will have more and more of these kind of companies. We have our clients with their ever-increasing demands and needs. We have capabilities, we have suppliers, we have vendors, we have ideas, we have solutions, technologies, which make it possible to provide our clients whatever we would call ESG products or services. We have a platform, we have processes, we have the digital transformation results. How do we use all of that so that we can launch this mechanism, so that we have a system? I love the word automagically, which we will use this word automagically, and we will go to this upward trajectory of sustainable development. For that reason, we need to implement the products and services with ESG criteria and put them inside this consumer journey. We also need to make it possible for companies, for the organizations to implement these new products. But another point which I want to add is the need to add these metrics. It could be carbon footprint. We should add these metrics to each and single transaction, all the processes, internal, external processes. When we have this kind of implementation, we can, for example, we can have it as additional expenses for a transaction. As a result, we'll be able to see our organization as a whole in terms of ESG. How do we affect our clients? How do we affect our suppliers? And how do we affect ourselves? As a result, this kind of flywheel will start rolling and bring about the sustainable development. Here I'd like to cover a few examples which I selected for this presentation. I think it's typically an example, it's more of a case study. Like in MBA, they have a case study. You consider the situation and what can we do about the situation. For example, they are not finished. They are, for example, I like Royal Bank of Canada, great bank, one of the most client-oriented banks on the planet. They have a great client journey. They move towards ESG, they issue green bonds, they provide beneficial loans for business and so on. And that's great, it works. But what can we do? How do we use everything I said before to this specific case? We need to take whatever they do for ESG and to add this to client journey. Their clients should see how their actions, how clients' actions affect ESG. For example, if clients make a deposit with some benefits for the environment, they will be able to see it. This could be the next step. Take a look at another respected company, Unilever, which continues to implement innovations. It's unstoppable, basically. I really like their approach in the sense that they have specific dates of specific targets, very concrete, to stop the deforestation, to achieve carbon neutrality by this year, and so on. We could take a look at this through our approach, through our prism. Let us ask a question: how do our clients use, how do our clients see it? When they buy your product, can they see that they affect the environment or not? For example, if I were asked, I would propose this kind of combination so that the clients would also see what kind of effect they will provide. I would skip a few slides, but I would like to mention DHL Express. It's a very interesting case study because they have this carbon calculator for each of their transactions, or rather for each of their delivery, and the client can see if this or that transaction operation affects the carbon footprint. And they can select. They have different options. They can go this way or that way, depending on the carbon footprint. So the ability to pick the way, to choose your own way, to choose your own option, is the satisfaction of the demand. And to conclude, I would like to re-emphasize that I believe ecosystems are of utmost importance. They have clients, they have vendors, they have marketplaces, and the results of the digital transformations which they can use in order to promote our world to the better future. And finally, I would like to quote one more time. Dutch philosopher of 17th century, Benedict Spinoza, said that nature has no aims. Everything we see is the result of the human thought. Everything is in our hands. Good luck and thank you for your attention. Andrey, thank you for your interesting presentation. I have a question. Maybe you can provide some data, numbers, facts. How does the attitude towards ESG changes from the business side? You know, this is a very good question. I think that we don't really need data now. We can understand it. We don't need data on this question. It is obvious, it's absolutely clear that business started to pay attention. It's on the surface, you can see it. The very fact that we are here on the stage at AI Journey and speak about ESG is the very fact that business pays attention. I'm a pragmatist. I believe in an economic model of business. Business will turn to where they have an opportunity to earn money. This is the basis, this is the foundation of business. Well, basically, this is the definition of business. And green customer journey makes it possible for the business to turn the right way, for us, for our society, to make the right turn, because we will satisfy our ESG demands and business will also make their money. In this sense, I'm an optimist. I'm sure that business will be interested in that and will have great success. Thank you. I'm sure that you basically infect us with your optimism.